right about to start the last session on the main stage. So everyone, please take your seats. I can barely see you out there from all those lights. But as you go in, I must say, there was a great DevGAMM. And we are going with a bang. We're going with the public pitch session. This public pitch is, for the first time ever, happening on this stage. It happened before, and if you haven't witnessed that, that was for the good reason, but that all changed now. And I welcome you to this session. This is a special activity where you will see 5 pitches, 5 contestants showing their precious games to you and to our judges. So let me quickly explain to you what's going to happen. We will have each one of game developers, studio representatives, delivering their pitch in 5 minutes. You will see a timer going, and it's a strict limit. Whatever they can deliver in that time will be then rated and deconstructed and feedbacked by our beautiful judges right here. Please meet Alex Nichiporchik from tinyBuild. Nathan Sölbrandt from Xsolla. And Andrius Mackevičius from Nordcurrent. We will also have a special trial for every developer. Our judges have a little voting plates on their tables. There are only 2 of them, heaven or hell. This will be the sincere desire that judges will build up throughout the pitch, and then once they vote, they will either cast one of our contestants to heaven or to hell with some surprise drinks or nice refreshments. Once we go through it all, one of the contestants will be picked as a winner and will receive a special prize from DevGAMM conference. So, I guess we can start with the first one. I invite to the stage the opening contestant with the game Lucky Shield by Desert Games, presented by Dmitry Kachov.
Good evening, everyone. Yep.
I see you have a clicker, I see you have a microphone,
Yep.
It's fully charged and you're armed and ready.
Yeah.
With this, I ask for the countdown to start.
So, one more time. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dima, and I'm a game designer of the Desert Game Studio. And today I want to pitch you our game Lucky Shield. What is it? Lucky Shield, it's a medieval beat-em-up where a player is a living shield that can absorb magical orbs to power up this attack. And we need this to recapture the continent, to save our princess, and to just beat our enemies. So, we have story mode, we have multiplayer mode. Here you can see our story and our of world map. You can see that there is a lot of different scrolls. Each of these scrolls is one of the location where we will be fight held. So to finish the game, you need to close all of these scrolls. And how game look inside. Here we can see the screenshot of our game where 4 players playing in local or online cooperative against the enemies. We're using isometrical camera. Our reference is like a Castle Crushers, some type of Diablo and Magica. So, our visual references is Darksburg and Torchlight. But what different us, for example, from Darksburg? First of all, it's our character. As I previously said, it's a living shield. What the story of this shield? The main character of our games, his name is Lucky, and he was a little bit unlucky because his soul was divided into 4 parts and become one of these shields. Lion, eagle, ram, and the turtle. Okay, in our medieval world, we have the magic. So we use this magic to fight against our enemies. Each type of magic has his own animation, his own type of attack, his own special things. But, for example, you like ice attack. Okay, and you want to switch it. How can you make it? For this, we have some, we can say, exchange mechanic. We can throw these orbs to our friends to switch it and to use another magic. But for what I need this, if I like, for example, fire? This is because our last unique save point is called overdrive scale. What does it mean? Every time when you use the magic, this scale will be increasing. The more this scale increase, the more power you have from your attacks. But on one side we have this strange, and on another side we have the mind of our character. So when this scale will fulfill on 100%, your character turn into a living elemental. You can control it and he can defeat you, your allies, and your enemies. So let's look how it looks like in the game. Now you can see all type of magic that we have. And of course, local and online cooperative, when we with our friends try to defeat all these enemies on stage. Sure, here we have a lot of friendly fire by our allies, and enemies too has his own friendly fire, like it was in old D&D games. Okay, this is how our game is look like, and this is all. My name is Dima. Thank you very much.
Flawless delivery, right on time. Well, let's now spend next 5 minutes with our experts, exchanging opinions and letting us know what was good, what was bad, what could be improved. So, who want to start? Grab the mic. You have it right in the center. Andrius.
Yeah, hello. Thank you for a pitch. It was nice seeing the game. But I have various questions starting from the pitch itself. I didn't understood the main focus of the pitch. It was mentioned that it's a single-player game, but you will also have aspects for multiplayer titles. And main references you mentioned are multiplayer-based games. So what is the main focus? Is it single-player component? Is it multiplayer component? And what are your main target?
Yep. We have, as I say, multiplayer and solo gameplay, but we focus it most on multiplayer because it's most funny.
Okay, understood. And another question, in the pitch deck it was mentioned, for example, that the price is premium. And do you have like any price range in mind for your title already?
I think for now, no.
Okay. And few another things I wanted to add is, for example, when you're making pitch deck, in the end you showed how publisher can reach you, but it's not clear for what reason they should reach you. So for example, if you're looking for funding, if you're looking for help with localization, marketing, QA, maybe you don't need funding at all, but publishers need to know that information prior to like writing to you.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. We cut this screen on the presentation, yeah.
Okay, and then I believe I can pass, maybe other judges get some notes.
Yeah, thanks for the pitch. That was really cool. I know it's not easy in 5 minutes. Did you have the budget in there that I didn't see?
Yeah, we too cut this for this presentation, but it's in main presentation we have it.
Okay, cool. And what is the budget?
As I remember, 20,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And the schedule? What's your sort of anticipated release?
The second quarter of 24, yeah. So after you.
Okay. With the elemental in that game loop, I didn't fully understand. Once the player loses their mind, it goes elemental. Do I lose control of the character, and then how does that start again?
It will be the mini game. So most part of this time you will be without controlling character, but in case you have win this mini game, you can control it. You know, like Rage for Hulk when he didn't understand what he make.
Okay, cool. That's understood. All right, I'll pass it on.
Thank you.
Right, so first off, the good part is that you were spot on with your timing, so very well rehearsed. The pitch itself is quite interesting because you have a complete disconnect in art style. So in the first couple of slides, you show this and that, right? You showed the map, and then you show the game. That look completely different. I have no idea what the map means. I have no idea what those little icons are. And when you start off with the slide that has a lot of text, people don't read text. People don't like text. So instead of saying like, hey, it's this genre, right? Here are the 3 games that I'm aspiring to, right? Here is how much they sold, right? That gets everyone excited. That's a comparable, right? A comparable product. And throughout the pitch, I've noticed that you use a lot of words like but, and, comma, this and that. The trick about a successful pitch is to not make it longer in terms of words, is to actually cut it down as much as possible. I believe you have one slide where it goes like this and this, but this. When you say that, you essentially nullify what you just said. I really like you, but your pitch sucks, right? Like, what does that mean, right? And then with the video itself, you like it's not edited well. Just work on your editing. Never put like a loading bar menu into your video pitch. Never put like it's starting. Oh no, now I have to click and this. I mean, any mobile phone has video editing software, right? So just make sure that your video assets are airtight, and maybe even start with them, because it took very long to understand what the game was. And then you spent a lot of time on focusing on very
We have to hold it on time, so that was
Okay.
all feedback from our judges.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Ooh.
Now to a final call for what this pitch is deserving. I hope this was useful for you, but now the judges decide whether it heaven or whether it hell. You are going to hell unanimously. I'm sorry. Well, with this, you open the ceremony, and you will be the first to know what the hellish source, the hellish mixer prepared for you. Pick a ball. It's blue. Well, I hope it's mana potion. You will need energy. Well, I know how it smells. Just tell us. Smells like hell. Well, good luck. This is now your fate. It might be sour. It might be hard.
Thank you very much. much.
But this is what you get. Next time, you'll be improved. Well then, that was a little taste. As you can see, we're on schedule and I will not tolerate deviations and I must move forward. So, now the next contestant will present their case to our experts. The game called The Fallen by Vision Keeper Studio, presented by Katja Keller. Come on stage. Well, you might have learned from the first presenter and be in a stronger position, but your slides are how they are, and you're ready.
I'm ready.
With this, let the countdown start and presentation begin.
Hello everyone. Today I will present you our game, The Fallen. The Fallen is an atmospheric first-person parkour platformer set in a surreal underwater world. You're playing a soul which has fallen out of heaven, and you're now trapped in this surreal world, and you really want to get back home. And the only way to do that is to save other fallen souls who were captured by evil humans. In our game, you will experience epic moments and you will travel through massive structures. There will be platforming with lots of airtime, and you will have boss rooms which each have their own unique design. So how do we save souls? In each level, you will find a huge factory powered by a captured soul. To save it, you have to enter this factory and complete a special parkour. To do that, the captured soul will help you by spawning some platforms, but be careful because they will disappear very quickly. So if you still manage to complete this parkour, you can disconnect the soul from the factory and it can be finally freed. So our platform is stamina-based, and it has a lot of airtime since you have the ability to glide, and there will also be lots of other elements that you can boost you in the air. Also, you will gain new special abilities in the course of the game, like a grappling hook, double jump, and dash, and many more. So in our game, there's also a main conflict. And that conflict is between the fallen souls and the humans. The fallen souls have a strong sense of community, and they will try to help and save each other. And as I said earlier, they will also try to help you out by spawning additional platforms. The humans, on the other hand, want to exploit the land, and they have built huge factories, and that's why they want to catch the souls to power their machines. In the game, you will only meet them passively, because they're in a cryosleep, but be careful, because their machines will still try to catch you. This is an example what the factory looks like, and this is an example of the building of the fallen souls. So our game is an atmospheric platformer, and we're aiming for PC first and Xbox, PlayStation afterwards. It's a single-player game, and the price point should be around €20. The release will be between the first quarter and the second quarter of 2024, and the game would be around 4 hours. So who is our target audience? So we want to reach the similar niche that A Story About My Uncle or Valley are in, because we realized that there hasn't been a game released in the same quality for a long time. So we really want to fill that gap. So this is our project plan, and as you can see, we're in the middle of production, and we will have like 12 more months until release. So this is our finance plan, and as you can see, we could secure the development costs, but we are still looking for a publisher. So what are we looking for in a publisher? We're looking for the marketing expertise, the covering of the marketing budget, QA and focus testing support, porting support, and 40,000 of finishing funds. So this is our team. We're trying to make strong emotional and atmospheric games. And also we have some achievement. For example, we have been in some acceleration program like Xsolla Accelerator, who is also our investor. And also we won some awards and other things. So that's it. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you liked it, you can stay in contact.
This is indeed a presentation with a soul, and we still have timer ticking. So I don't know. That was flawless again. I really appreciate you sticking with it. I would like now to ask Alex to start with the feedback and let us know what was good, what was bad, what could be improved. And
Are you sure? I'll just suck everyone's time.
well, then I put some time pressure on you, so you still share the mic.
All right. I can talk a lot about how 4 hours for 200,000 euros is, doesn't look that great of an offering in terms of ROI on, because when you add hour number 5, that will cost what, 50,000 more, right? Well, technically, and then if you stack more and more in DLCs, then you essentially start getting diminishing returns on that. That's not the problem with the pitch. That's a problem or a challenge with the game structure, right? But in terms of the pitch, I really like how concise it is. What I think is that there is an overemphasis on the storyline, because on that slide where you have the story, you are telling us as potential buyers or investors, etc., what the game is. You're not telling us why we should be interested. This is what I was really missing. Why are these souls there? Why should I care? And the second part that I was missing is you mentioned about it being a movement platformer, right? This is something that a lot of companies have tried to do before. You need to explain or show some validation for the game feel, because these games can be amazing when they feel great, but they're also extremely challenging. So maybe some credentials on things that you got inspired by or things that you may have done. I'll shut up.
Yep. Thank you for the pitch. I really liked it. So for this time, I will be emphasizing on the positive side. I really liked your approach of show not tell. So mostly in the beginning parts, especially, it was mostly used like showcase the GIFs accompanying the text. So it really showcased various strong points of the game. It was really nice to see that. The thing I want to ask, and this is also in terms of the story itself, I didn't understood the point of bolding some words in the pitch, for example, save souls or something like that. Is it like important part, or why those parts were bolded in the...
You mean souls, the word?
No, I mean like overall, why have you decided to bold some like parts in the text in the...
which were written in bold.
Yes.
Oh, we just were trying to make it more easier to read just the important.
Ah, okay, understood.
Yeah, well, as everyone saw, this game is in the Xsolla Accelerator program, so I'm probably extremely biased, and I think I'll just recuse myself from any commentary and leave it at that. So, thank you.
Well then, thank you very much, our experts. Indeed, we looked through that and put Nathan there. So now, where will the Fallen from Vision Keeper Studio go? Shuffle your tablets and raise the one you think they deserve. It's heaven! It's unanimous. Wow, I am impressed, and I will then want you here at this table, because unlike the ones who go to hell, the goers to heaven choose their own fate and their own drinks. What would you pick?
What is this drink?
This is a little lemonade.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Well then, let me open that for you and pour you some of this refreshing heavenly nectar. Let's see how it sparks, how it adds to the flavor and the taste. It will probably refresh you
Thank you
after.
so much.
Cheers!
Diamonds, rich like cream, stronger and harder than a bad girl's dream.
It is indeed a heavenly taste. Well, the winner's always finished, but we don't know who winner is yet. But you can take it with you.
Thank you.
Well, you know, I took a sip, and it indeed feels like I delivered good pitch myself. But even then, I'm here only to name the names of the real heroes of the day. And the next one, our contestant number 3, already equipped with everything he needs, presenting Chicken Nuts by Sneaky Box, delivered you by Martynas Shishkauskas.
Hello, everyone.
Well,
Thanks for coming in.
thank you for getting on this stage. And now, if you're ready, which I see you is, determined, I want the countdown to start.
Okay, so thank you for the warm introduction. I am Martynas Shishkauskas from Sneaky Box. Today I'll be pitching you Chicken Outs. It's our roguelike action game. We wanted the player to feel like John Wick, but instead of his dog, there was a chicken. And instead of a highly experienced hitman, there was a farmer with guns and an alien spaceship with aliens. This is a little snippet from our gameplay. It's our combat scene. So you play as this farmer that I described, and you clear the levels to progress in the spaceship. The spaceship has your chickens stolen, so you try to reach the bosses and get them back. The game is inspired and is a fusion of a few other games like Enter the Gungeon and Hades. Also, there were some additional inspirations from 20 Minutes Till Dawn, Binding of Isaac, Cult of the Lamb, and Nuclear Throne. So currently, we have a demo released on Steam. We're participating in a Next Fest. So these numbers are very fresh. They came from this morning. We were the top most streamed game on Steam for a moment. We also have our own marketing assets prepared and a social media presence building already. So on the full game, we plan to have 9 months of core development, 4 areas. So the demo has 1 area and we will have 4. And we will need 3 more months for porting to Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. The porting will be done in-house. This is like a quick summary for you to read about our game. The core team is 2 generalists and 1 visual artist. We're all pretty experienced people from Sneaky Box. We've worked together on multiple projects from start to finish. So started with Atari Recharge series and then moved on to Void Prison, which was our own game and which was a predecessor to the Chicken Outs game I am pitching right now. Sneaky Box itself is mostly a porting company, so this part is we can clear it very well. You don't need to worry about it. And what we're looking for in a publisher is 200,000 euros in funding. Nice to have would be distribution contacts in like Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, content creator network which we could use to promote the game, and experience in our target demographic, which is players of similar games like Enter the Gungeon, Nuclear Throne, the ones I mentioned. So thank you very much for listening.
This is insane. You still have 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. I want another round of applause for our amazing indies. This is such an experienced team here. So, with this flawless delivery, I would like to then use this time to get a feedback. And let's start with
Go ahead.
Nathan.
Is it on? Yeah. Thank you for the pitch. That was bold, leaving a minute 30 on the table, but I think it worked. From my perspective, that was a really, really good pitch. A little bit in contrast to the first two, you really focused on why a publisher should be interested in this. You really hit home your credentials, set it up in the market, and showed that there's a kind of fit for that. The artwork was throughout. You did a really good job of setting the stage of kind of the emotional connection to the game. I thought that was quite fun, the way you did that with the John Wick reference, and then just kept making it a little bit more ridiculous each time. So yeah, from my perspective, that's really good. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have to agree, it's really good pitch. But from my perspective, I still have some unanswered questions. So first of all, as you are developing roguelike, I believe you understand that content and post-launch support is lifeblood of roguelike games for them to being successful. So what's unclear for me, do you plan to have like any post-launch support, or how many weapons, bosses do you plan to have in the game itself, so that publishers would have an understanding like what we're looking for? Is this a game, is a like long-term plan, what we will have in the baseline game, and so on?
Yeah, good question. I cannot really give a very clear answer to that. I guess it depends if it's financially viable. We really need to assess. There's, of course, if the game is very successful, it will have post-launch updates. That's for sure.
Great. And another question I have, you mentioned like various inspirations for your title, but you haven't mentioned like how the game will be different. Is it the idea of the game, the chickens and so on, the ridiculousness of it, or do you have like another selling points that draw people to play your game instead of doing another run in Hades?
Yeah, so for example, Hades has this very fun upgrade system, but maybe some people really like pixel art and they want Hades in pixel art, so that's like one selling point. Enter the Gungeon has a lot of these features that we also have, so maybe they're looking for Hades type of game. And yeah, and we're still prototyping some more original mechanics, like chickens following you into the combat and using them as like a ability.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really like the way that you set up the emotional connection, because I was like, fuck. But you don't pay it off, right? So you do a sub, and then you show gameplay of of what you would expect within the genre. So you should really hone home. Like if you do that sub, you need to really commit to it, right? It's kind of like when we did a game called No Time to Explain, we had to commit to the joke, right? Here it's not a joke, right? But the sub, you just need to follow through with that. And the pitch structure, I think, could feel a little bit punchier, because when you pitch a game and you say that, oh, we're like 3 people and we're going to do porting in-house, right? That's an ideal segue into your team structure. But you get to your team structure and the fact that you're initially a porting studio only later on. Because everyone who reads porting will be done in-house. Well, do you guys have experience in that? Like, yeah, we are a porting studio, we have these trusted partners. So in that regard, you can actually condense it even more, and maybe leave more time to talk about what makes the game unique and what makes it stand out. In general, I think that's the part that I didn't get, is how will it stand out from the other games that I have spent hundreds of hours in. And with these kind of games, you need to earn the trust of the players to be able to say, okay, this will be worth your time. And also when you do public verification, like you did with the Steam Games Fest, I know it's very new, but it's maybe just focus on that a little bit more, right? Because that's actually really, really useful to know.
Thank you.
Well then, with this, I experienced a whole emotional roller coaster. I really believed in that pitch, but now I'm not so sure. So Duchess, where would you send that chicken? To heaven or to hell? Tough choice. Heaven, heaven, hell. But still, you are on a good count with the judges, so let's pick a drink for you. The one worthy of maybe not a fully champion, but at least the one who passed.
Let's see what we have here.
It's a heavenly water, clean as the tears of an angel. Lemonade, apparently local specialty. Do you recognize this one?
Yeah, I'm a really big fan of lemonades, so very interesting to find a new one.
Well, the one worthy of a winner, let's come right here and pop it off. How do you feel? Smell it, savor it, every drop. Oh yes. Well, it's all gonna give you energy to pitch it next and hopefully publish. Reach out to that studio if you like this game. And we continue, it's only 2 contestants left. And I invite to this stage number 4 of our day. I hope they're ready. They seem to be in discussion. Well, I will name them anyway. Mad Offense by Navy Spade, presented by Andriy Yelovsky. Please come here, join me on your road to glory.
Go to hell.
Well, I see you're ready. You get all the last-minute instructions from your teammates who watched it closely. And now, if you allow me, please start the timer and start the pitch.
Thank you, Borys, and hello, everyone. My name is Andriy Yelovsky, and in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk about Navy Spade and our next big game. One disclaimer, though. Our game is in pre-production phase, meaning I do not have a cool trailer or the ready visuals to show off. What I do have is a clear market opportunity that I invite you to seize together with our team. Having said that, we are 4 years in mobile games, starting with casual mobile games and later on moving to the hyper-casual arena. Last year we had 3 soft launches and we are still working on our last game to improve its metrics. And we have completed more than 100 projects so far, and we've worked with the top publishers in the hyper-casual arena such as Voodoo and Supersonic, which rounds our mobile game experience. But enough about the past. Let's talk about the future. Our next game can be summarized as follows. Think of Archero meets tower defense with tons of guns and zombies. First, it is the tower defense core, meaning you have a central unit that you can actually control and the supplementary towers that help you defend against the hordes of zombies attacking you. Second, after each wave is defeated, you will get to choose a perk. Perks provide a significant boost to your power and enable unique builds each time you play a level. Thirdly, there are guns. Lots of guns which allow for multiple gameplay and different play styles to be experienced. There are 4 unique selling points that underpin this game. First, the perk draft with staged levels is a novelty in tower defense. Compare the amount of action shooters that utilize this system to the amount of games that utilize this system in tower defense. Clearly, the market is underserved. Second, active shooting will boost user engagement. We have seen proofs of concept on PC with Dome Keeper and Wall World, and the mobile games also use some active management component to increase user involvement in the gameplay. In case of alienation, we will be prepared to pivot to the more conservative niche. The second and third unique selling points revolve about immersing the player into the gameplay. Looter-shooter emotions will help or go hand in hand with an active shooting component, providing the bursts of surprise when the player defeats the enemies. And the curved earth visual will actually show the player how he traverses the land and clears the zombie apocalypse. So, having said about the team, or having said about the game, what team will do this project? We are a core team of 6 people who all have more than 2 years in Unity development, but also bring something unique to the table. For example, our programmer has more than 6 years of enterprise C# development. As for me, I bring 6 years of financial consulting to the table. Our team is also heavily supported by external advisors who bring decades of relevant experience to the table. Together, we are able to solve really hard problems the most efficient way. So how much financing does this team require? We are looking to secure a 12,000 monthly burn rate for the next 4 months. This will help us bring the vertical slice to the market. Afterwards, we will be prepared to go full steam ahead to the global launch, which we plan to do in May 24. By this time, the total investment will amount to 180%, with an expected return of investment of 250% by the end of the next year. This rounds up my talk. I hope you are now as excited about this project, and I invite you to create MetaFans together.
I am impressed. We prepared such a beautiful sound. Our sound design team composed the clock timer that will ring in the end, and we barely hear it once. What a great delivery. Although we're still on the clock, so I would like to start with the judges' feedback. Andrius, you would like to start and say what was good, bad, and ugly?
Yeah, of course. So I wanted to ask, first of all, for me at least, it was a bit too much information in the beginning, especially with games you are targeting, USPs you will have. I know that you mentioned that you don't have a game ready, you don't have cool trailer and so on. But publishers used to see games in early stages. They understand that some art might be placeholder and so on. So don't be afraid to showcase even if a short GIF of your main core loop, so we could at least have a better understanding, because you see 4 reference points, but in the mind you can be having completely different picture of the end product of what you actually will have in your game. So that is one thing. And another thing I wanted to ask, in the games you are targeting, it was I believe 2 titles shown, Dome Keeper and Wall, I don't remember the name of the game.
Crawler.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, so what exactly of these games will you bring into your title? Because there are a lot of mobile stuff and just few games from PC, so it's a bit of disconnect. So I wanted to learn more about those titles, how they will trickle into your game.
Sure. We reference these 2 games as the reference for the active shooting component. So our game is a hybrid casual, meaning that we strive to have a hyper-casual core, and our hyper-casual core revolves around an active shooting. And we use Dome Keeper and Wall Crawler as examples that on PC, active shooting, meaning active control of the tower and its direction of shooting, is proven concept. So it might work on mobile.
Cool. Well, thanks for the presentation. I may have gone too quick, but I didn't fully understand the nature of the investment. You were looking for an equity investment, a seed round, I think I saw at the start. And then in that graphic, it looked like you were laying out basically a revenue share that would be paid back to the investor for covering the burn rate for 4 months. Is that correct?
So on the slides, a project investment is presented, but of course we are open to the equity investment as well.
Okay, cool. I must have misunderstood that. And then in terms of user acquisition and things like that, I didn't see any reference to that. Do you have experience with that, or what's the plan for that?
Yes, we did not make any reference to that because we are going to partner with an UA experienced publisher, be it Heavy or App Quantum or other big names in the market, and this is where our expertise will come from.
Okay, cool.
Well,
Yeah, I was just looking at that picture of the revenue proposal. You know, this is the most complicated revenue. Vertical slices here, then no revenue there, then soft launch, and global launch were successful, right? I think in general the issue with this pitch is so first off, you open with, and I don't remember exactly what you said. It may not have been the intention, but it comes off as, hey, so all of the other cool pitches are kind of behind us now, and now I'm going to give you a really good pitch. You know, so you never come in to a pitching session with like a sarcastically negative attitude. You never do that. It's disrespectful to other competitors, and then if it's like an investor or whatnot, it just comes off as poor taste. And also, I think that in general, the pitch is done too early, right? It's normal to have a so-called paper pitch in AAA and AA premium console and PC games development, but even there you have concept art, you have like visualizations, mood boards, right? Here we're talking about a much lower budget project, and you say, oh yeah, we don't have anything, this is just like, here are all of the games that we like, and we're going to make something awesome out of it. Also, here's an overly complicated slide. Thank you so much. So to me, the structure of the pitch is just, it's very early. The structure is not great. The attitude is not great. So I would rethink of how to structure this in general.
Thank you, and I'm sorry if I offended the other contestants because this was not intended.
well, let's see if experts accept your apology. Will it be? Oh no, I guess you are burning in hell.
For her, she says the burden's on the receiver.
I will have to
Open the door,
ask you to
walked
choose one of those spheres of destiny, because the ones who lose in the public pitch picks the ball of destiny, but ball decides. It's a black ball, and I would not be
Bring
happy
it
on
on.
your place.
Bring it on!
Let's see. It's sealed tight. Hold this glass. Feel how heavy it is. I will not even dare to smell
Even if you do,
this black
that's
liquid. Oh my god, it drips on hands. I see them bubbling. It will be full. You will not come away from your punishment for disrespecting others. At least you apologize, but now you drink. And let's see how you take this.
Queen takes pawn,
Drink,
check on checkmate.
drink,
Feel your foot brush against my leg. Not that easily
You did it
led.
quite well.
You flutter your eyes and you toss your hair. I have to say
Well.
that it is kind of unfair. Now let me tell you, baby, now what's in store. You win the battle, but I'll win the war.
I think it is
So what game shall we play
redemption
today?
right here on the stage.
About the one where you
Thank
don't
you.
get your way.
You did it.
Even if you do,
At least with a drink.
that's okay. So what game shall we play today?
Take it to the last contender. Let's finish it off. Let's see what we have in store. You came the last, and you will finish this for us. Game called Lonely Space by HC Games, presented by Mikita Ryzhowski. Come here. Don't be afraid. I'm quite close. I see you well equipped and quite ready. So with this, let's start the sound cue. 3, 2, 1. Your turn.
Hello everyone, I want to present my game Lonely Space. It's an immersive sim game. Okay. It's developed by me and sometimes some 3D developer or 3D artist helps me. And it developed by 1 year and few months. I want to show the trailer. Okay. The game consists of some subgenres. Firstly, it's single-player game, story-based game. It contains FPS mechanics, some RPG elements, horror elements, and a little bit Souls-like elements, because you cannot save your progress. If you die, you will reborn in some capsule. The setting is sci-fi in space station. The engine is Unity, and I use fmod for sound engine. Okay, what game should be? Planned duration, it's near 5 to 10 hours. It depends on skill, but 5 hours will be enough. I plan 5-6 decks or levels, near 10-15 weapons, near 5 plus active abilities, 10 plus passive abilities, and maybe 20-30 enemy species. Okay, the features of the game. The first feature is the variability. The game it's immersive sim. Then you can solve the puzzles or another quests with different ways. You can go like straight with weapons, you can find another way, you can sneak around, and etc. The game contains hacking mechanics based on puzzle mini-games, stealth mechanics, limited resources. You need to save some bullets and etc. Turrets, cameras, leveling up, a lot of interactable items, drawing in, devices. The world is persistent. When you drop something in some place, you can return here and get it anytime. You can go to the end of the game and return to the beginning. Okay, the target platform is Steam, and then it's Xbox and PlayStation. Audience, of course, it's immersive sim fans, some old school player because it's a little bit old school design, and a lot of players who want to see System Shock 3, Deus Ex 3, like these ones. Okay, it's a table of similar games. It's a lack of information about costs of development and etc. But from researches, I found out that half of these games are unprofitable. Yeah, and what's the reason? It's some graphic which games were profitable, which were not. As you see, trend was changed, and the next game should be definitely profitable. Yeah, and the lack of immersive sim games in the nature, as you see. Yeah, and why did the immersive sim fails? It's the question. Okay, it's too expensive, or it's earned too low, or both of that. We cannot predict earnings, but we can definitely lower the cost. But AAA companies cannot. It's the reason why we can do it, and we already this stage of game cost me like maybe near $4,000 or $5,000 for now, and a year plus something of my time. What do we need? We need time to finish the game, resources, promotion, and publishing. And more time. Okay, thank you for watching.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys,
I am not even mad. I'm impressed. This was definitely a titan on its own, and we don't want to lay over because as a host of this session, we are running out of time. The DevGAMM Awards starts soon. So as this pitch was amazing, I know, but it was also minimalistic. So let's keep our feedback brief and fast. Please, who would like to start?
Ooh, where do I begin? Immersive sim, it's a complicated genre. I wanted to start, I believe, from, you mentioned that you will be doing it solo with some help from other guys. So my question would be, do you have any previous experience working on released games, or is it your first experience?
I had like my own business in mobile games, and then I had studio of 6 people. We released a VR game in Steam.
Okay. And also, after looking at the trailer itself, for me it wasn't clear what exact aspects of immersive sim will be incorporated in the game. Some of those were shown in the features, but for example, you could easily show those in the trailer as well, because for first half of the trailer it looked more like a normal FPS, not an immersive sim.
Yeah, but the main part of the game is like exploration, finding some hidden places and etc., finding some items. Yeah, maybe I need to improve it.
And yeah, profitability graph was just something else. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think you missed a little bit with putting a bit more artwork in and sort of showing the vision of where you want it to be. I think what I would say, though, is at first, I didn't think you had much personality built into the pitch, and by the end, you had a lot of personality built into the pitch. So I'm not sure it's going to be effective, but I admire your courage to try and openly encourage publishers to gamble like Neo in The Matrix. So.
Well, Alex, finish it up.
I have one word to describe this pitch. It's called a spuddle. Look up the word S-P-U-D-D-L-E. It's doing a lot of work while achieving absolutely nothing.
Well, the experts are spoken, and it's not like I can see the future, but maybe I'm ready. Where do he goes? Hell, and heaven, which is really generous from the judges, but it changes nothing. Pick your destiny, or punishment, or... It's black again, let's immerse you. Let's immerse you, because, you know, to make a good immersive sim game, you actually add a lot of elements. You add a little bit of world building by placing nodes. You add a little bit of thrill and something to fight against. You add yellow nodes everywhere. Oh my god, this is bubbling. I accidentally put it on my skin. And well, at least this one I let you choose which one it will be. Well, then it's my choice, I guess. With this, judges can already start thinking who was the best today, because we will announce in a moment after this hellish mix is finished and consumed for the sins against game development. I admire your bravery for coming here and delivering this, and I admire your bravery for taking it in. I put a little straws for you. Do you want some ice? Let's cool you off. You're too hot-headed for this stage. Well, you're gonna have a tissue, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, with this, I have only one question left. Who is the winner of public pitch tonight? Will it be the contender number 1 delivered first quite bravely. Lucky Shield by Desert Games. Will it be The Fallen from Vision Keeper? Will it be Chicken Nuts for Sneaky Box? Maybe it's Mad Offense by Navy Spade? Or by some wild coincidence, Lonely Space by HC Games? Oh, you already decided? And you know who it is, Alex, tell us.
We have decided that the winner will be number 3, The Fallen.
It's the Chicken Nuts.
No, what?
Wait, we got The Fallen, number 2.
Don't you come back no more, no more.
You miscalculated, but you are indeed ascending to heaven. And I want to give you this present from DevGAMM Conference. 2 tickets for the next one. You can cash out this frame. And I thank you all for listening. Let's thank our experts for great opinions, and I hope they brought some value to it. This is a correct winner. We haven't mistaken, right? Okay. Absolutely. Thank you. I would like to thank our contestants because they took it bravely and hopefully deliver some laughs for you and learnings as well. And with this, I leave the stage and let's continue for the final.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back